Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Unmatched Marvel set of Brains and Brawn, which has She-Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. And I would say this is probably the Marvel Unmatched set I'm most excited about because it's got Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. I guess not so much She-Hulk, but I have seen one episode of She-Hulk on the Disney Plus show, but I do like Spider-Man and I do like Doctor Strange quite a bit. Uh, Maybe not so much in the when they can combine their efforts, and Doctor Strange kind of seemed pretty dumb, but overall we'll see. I don't know about the comics, but let's get into the box and quit discussing how they just ruined Doctor Strange in the MCU. But yes, let's see here. I think this is the last Marvel set that they're going to do, but you can get all these other ones: Hell's Kitchen, Redemption Row, Teen Spirit, For King and Country. For King and Country is probably the other one that I was most excited about, and have played and have enjoyed quite a bit. So we've got the rules here. Oh my gosh, a ton of rules. Uh, no, I think this rule book it should be pretty similar to all the other ones, and then if they maybe have some specific powers or something special that isn't typical, they typically will add those into the rules towards maybe the end of the rule book. It seems like. So yeah, they do a pretty good job of keeping it pretty consistent. Um, I guess if they had like a rule that changed how it was all done, I probably wouldn't read it because I don't go through and read every one of these as I get a new set. So if there's a new overall rule, then I may be in some trouble. But yeah, this is, like I've probably said in almost all the Unmatched videos, one of my favorite pieces to kind of the whole set, and I think it's just they're really great production for all these sets, is these dials just all look very different, yet the artwork on them is always really cool and just makes them feel unique, and there's just enough artwork on there that just makes them feel special, even though it's not necessarily needed because it's just used to, obviously track the hero's health, which I guess is a main point in the game. But it just makes the production feel so much better, I think. And then we've got some items on under here, which I believe all the Marvel Unmatched sets have these items that kind of go out onto the board. So I'm guessing with this being the last set, that'll be the last one that maybe does that for a little while. So, uh, but I'm not sure. Maybe I can't remember if the other ones did it or not. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, so we've got a new board as well. So this is kind of what they've done with all of the recent boards. I think they've had it where they've got these colored in circles a little bit more, and then they've got the other side has more of a ring for the colors. I always I always use this side. It's just much easier to see, and it's just I think one of the best line of sight systems in a game that I've seen. I think that's what makes the game one that I actually really love. Otherwise, typically once you bring line of sight into play, some of those just lose my interest because it's just a bit too much to think about. But this one just makes that really easy, really approachable. Then we've got one little sidekick here. Oh boy, my assistant is helping me, kind of like a sidekick. What do we got here? Who is Doctor Strange? Is that Wong? It is Wong, and he is also a ranged fighter. Doesn't quite look like the Wong from the movies, but still looks pretty good. Then we've got these to put those dials together. Pretty typical of those. We'll let Pepper open the cards. But we got old Spidey, Spider-Man. Nice look to the back of the cards. So what does Spider-Man do? He's got Spidey sense. When an opponent attacks Spider-Man before you play a defense card, they must tell you the printed value of their card. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Um, Surprised he's a melee fighter. I feel like they could have maybe done both with Spider-Man, but um, I guess that works. I don't know. What do you think, Pepper? Would you have had Spider-Man be a melee or a ranged fighter?
I would say,
I guess
if only one, I would go ranged.
okay. Um, yeah, he can move 3, so he's pretty quick. And usually I don't look too close at the cards. I like to usually be surprised at what they do. Um, but it's, once again, some great artwork. Pepper, you need to look up, do all the Unmatched sets use the same artist, or is it a different artist? I have never looked this up, and I've always said on every one of these videos that I need to look it up, and I've just never done it.
I think I've looked it up in the past, and I think there are a few recurring artists, but I will
Okay.
check.
But yeah, so that was Spider-Man. Then we got She-Hulk. Just throw something. At the start of your turn, you may discard a card to deal damage equal to its boost value to a fighter in your zone. Wow, that feels really strong. But yeah, it's kind of a cool little thing where yeah, she's throwing something. Makes sense thematically. And then yeah, we got some more cool artwork. We've got the classic green and purple look to either the Hulk or She-Hulk, which those colors blend together really well. And it's just some more amazing art here. So yeah, there's another one I'm excited to play. Be interested to see. So far, I feel like She-Hulk might be a little bit stronger based on that ability, but hard to say. I'm not good enough at the game to really know that from just looking at these cards. And then these are both ranged fighters, Doctor Strange and Wong. Dark Pact. After each combat, if Doctor Strange played a card, you may deal 1 damage to him. If you do, put that card on the bottom of your deck and draw a card. So that'll be interesting. I think that that will probably make him the hardest to play out of the 3, just because you kind of have to maybe know the game a little bit more and know how that's going to actually affect you and work. But that could be interesting as well. I'll have to see kind of how that actually plays out. So we've got some Doctor Strange. So this is some interesting artwork. I don't know. I don't know that this is one of my favorite artworks, but it's still good. And yeah, like I've said, so these all kind of look somewhat different, but they still look like they're kind of in the same universe and still connected. But um, all the sets seem to do that, where they look slightly different than each other, but still fit and kind of make sense. None of them feel like they're completely out of place. But then we've got the miniatures, which I'm always a big fan of. I don't know that they really even need to be painted, but I know some people paint them up. They look really cool, but a nice little pose that he's got going there. Then we've got Spider-Man. I don't know that this is my favorite one. I get what they're going for here, and I get you have to make it like stable and not like breaking off, but I don't know. It almost looks like he's shooting water or something, or shooting some ice out of his hand or something. But overall, pretty cool. What do you think, Pepper?
Yeah, it's a very solid object. It doesn't really look like a web, but
Yeah. Yeah, but it's fine. Then we got She-Hulk lifting a pillar, ready to be throwing it to deal some damage. Yeah, that one's a pretty cool one. Pretty unique. I don't know. I'm trying to think if any of the other fighters are holding anything um, in their poses. I can't remember, but yeah, this looks exciting. I'm excited to try these characters, and the She-Hulk one almost sounds the most interesting somehow. Just because, yeah, I don't know how big her boost values are going to be, but like I said before, I like to kind of just play it and find out. Obviously, that's probably not the best way to play it if I'm being really competitive and wanting to win, but I always like, a surprise here and there, and then I'll usually look at them after I end up losing in 6 turns. So, yeah, but yeah, we still haven't really decided how we're going to release the. We have a lot of unboxings for the Unmatched sets. We haven't actually released any of them. So it'll be interesting because the earlier ones we will have not had a lot of Unmatched in our collection, but this one we have almost every set outside of like the Deadpool and Bruce Lee. But we'll be doing a tournament alongside, probably releasing some of those. So stay tuned for that if that sounds interesting to you. But otherwise, we hope to see you on those videos. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.